if my class can allow international students to sit in on site or online, and the international students, they cannot understand Chinese. In this situation, then English must be required, right? So this is one of the examples to make the teaching in a situation that English is required.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will be presenting on sustainable tourism in Xiaoliutou. I'm the presenter for today, Ling Jae-yang. Here are our team members. And here is our outline. So, what is sustainable tourism? In the simplest terms, it means try to reduce environmental and social impact while traveling and promoting the economic development of the destination. People often equate sustainable travel with eco-friendly travel, eco-tourism, or green travel, but sustainable travel goes beyond environmental protection. It emphasizes the preservation of the social and cultural aspects of the destination and supports the local economy. This reflects the three fundamental pillars of sustainability: balances environment protection, social and cultural preservation, and economic benefits. According to the Global Sustainable Tourism Criteria, sustainable tourism has four major aspects: sustainable management, maximizing social economic benefits, minimizing cultural impact, and minimizing environmental impact.
Xiaoliuqiu has the highest annual average sea temperature in Taiwan, remaining above 25 degrees Celsius year-round, making it one of the best locations for activities like snorkeling. Xiaoliuqiu is also an important habitat for green sea turtles, as designated by the Pingtung County government, and aerial observations have recorded 805 sea turtles. Strategies for balancing economic development and environmental sustainability. According to the Tourism Bureau of the Ministry of Transportation and Communications, the number of visitors to ticketed attractions in Xiaoliuqiu grew from 170,000 in 2008 to 440,000 in 2019, an impressive growth rate of 159%. This clearly indicates that the tourism industry has become a key industry in Xiaoliuqiu. In recent years, due to the increase in population activities, the large influx of tourists has brought substantial business opportunities, but also led to an increase in waste and sewage discharge generated by visitors and residents. Without proactive measures, the island's ecological environment will continue to deteriorate, affecting the quality of life for residents and hindering the development of the local tourism industry. Developing sustainable tourism, protecting the unique biological and landscape resources of Xiaoliuqiu marine ecology. While Xiaoliuqiu boasts rich marine resources, overfishing and illegal fishing practices by fishermen can lead to the depletion of fisheries. To restore the fisheries resources of Xiaoliuqiu, the Pingtung County government implemented a comprehensive ban on gill nets within a 3 nautical mile radius of Xiaoliuqiu's waters in 2013. They also prohibited the carrying of various types of gillnet gear in and out of all ports, thus safeguarding the green sea turtles and the safety of incoming and outgoing vessels, allowing the marine ecology to have a chance to revive. Regular cleaning of postal 3-layer nets and seabed garbage is also conducted, with an average of about 0.6 metric tons of waste removed annually, restoring the seabed landscape and vitality. Advocating for the conservation of fishing village ecological resources, educating junior high school and elementary school students, conservationists, tour guides and interpreters about the importance of coastal marine ecology conservation and future tourism revenue. This includes collaborating with local marine volunteer teams on coastal cleanup measures, promoting the concept of collective maintenance, conservation patrols and advocacy activities, cultivating local residents' awareness of marine ecological conservation, establishment of natural cultural ecological landscape areas, In 2015, the Pingtung County government, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transportation and Communications, announced the establishment of Taiwan's first natural cultural ecological landscape area on Xiaoliuqiu. This designation includes areas such as Duzaiping, Sanfu, Harbor Bay, Yuchengwei, and Longxian Cave as part of the Pingtung County Xiaoliuqiu Natural Cultural Ecological Landscape Area. Not only is the number of visitors regulated, but tourists must also be accompanied by qualified tour guides and comply with instructions and related regulations. Furthermore, through homestays and experiential tour operators, visitors are educated and strictly prohibited from engaging in any activities such as fishing, damaging habitats, or touching and disturbing sea turtles within the conservation area, thus preserving the ecological sustainability of Xiaoliuqiu. Electric motorcycles. Due to their energy efficiency, low pollution, and versatility for sports, leisure, short-distance commuting, and school transportation, electric vehicles have become a highly promoted, green and low-carbon mode of transportation by governments worldwide. The Pingtung County government has specifically formulated the implementation points for air quality management in Xiaoliuqiu, Pingtung County, which not only regulates various sources of air pollution emissions, but also supports vehicle rental companies in replacing high-polluting vehicles with low-polluting ones. Additionally, they have extensively set up charging stations, charging poles or battery exchange stations at major tourist attractions and assisted electric motorcycle operators in establishing charging stations at local homestays to increase the usage rate of electric motorcycles. Through continuous advocacy by the Pingtung County government and township offices, Xiaoliuqiu now has nearly 2,000 electric motorcycles available for residents and tourists, aiming to create a low-carbon and green energy tourism environment, production and transfer, improving wastewater treatment facilities, plastic-free island projects. Since 2018, the Pingtung County government and private organizations have jointly launched the Xiaoliuqiu Plastic-Free Low-Carbon Island Demonstration Project to promote plastic reduction among local residents and tourists. Water dispensers have been installed at tourist ports, scenic areas, public waiting rooms for boats, and security checkpoints on the island, along with the creation of a water dispenser map. This initiative encourages tourists visiting Xiaoliuqiu to bring their own eco-friendly tableware, and accommodations do not provide disposable packaged toiletries, encouraging tourists to bring their own supplies and utensils when visiting the island. Treatment facilities. To address the sewage treatment issue in Xiaoliuqiu, the Pingtung County government established the first community-based sewage treatment plant on the island's densely populated settlement sewage outfall, next to the Elderly Recreation Center, in 2017. In order to preserve the environmental landscape, the entire plant is installed underground, treating domestic sewage to meet discharge or reuse standards. In 2021, 2 additional community-based sewage treatment plants were installed at Zhonggao Beach and Shanban Bay, areas with dense populations and homestays. With the completion of these new sewage treatment plants, Xiaoliuqiu's sewage treatment capacity is expected to handle nearly 2,300 tons of wastewater per day, approximately equivalent to 50% from local residents and 80% from tourists. Obstacles. However, a 2020 study by Sun Yat-sen University pointed out that the intertidal zone in Xiaoliuqiu has experienced an 80% reduction in biomass due to excessive trampling by tourists. In fact, even the coastal marine ecology of Xiaoliuqiu is facing a crisis. According to Greenpeace's latest investigation, understand the true situation of Xiaoliuqiu's marine ecology, Greenpeace conducted underwater ecological surveys in 6 popular recreation spots in Xiaoliuqiu, including Shanpigu, Shanfu, and Huapingyan, in August of this year. The survey revealed 2 major findings. The fish density along the coast of Xiaoliuqiu is extremely low, with most recreation spots having less than 1 fish per square meter, approaching a situation of clear water with no fish. compared to similar coral reef ecosystems in Taiwan, where Kenting has 5 to 8 fish per square meter and Green Island has 3 to 6 fish per square meter, Xiaoluqiu's fish population density is only 0.5 fish per square meter, significantly lower. The health status of coral reefs along the coast of Xiaoluqiu is also not ideal. The majority of recreational spots have coral reefs classified as declining or even degraded. This means that while Xiaoluqiu vigorously develops tourism, the marine tourism resources that support its tourism industry are on the verge of depletion. If the current situation continues, the tourism industry chain that has been painstakingly built may not be sustainable. What is even more worrying is that Xiaoluqiu's plight is not an isolated case. Similar challenges are faced by many popular tourist attractions across Taiwan. Taiwan is surrounded by the sea on all sides. It has always lacked foresight and comprehensive planning in the sustainable development of marine resources. This has led to endless resource conflicts and vicious competition among ecological conservation, tourism recreation, and nearshore fisheries. Consequently, the talk of industry sustainability remains empty. After all, once ecological resources are depleted, there is no possibility of recovery, and the interdependent relationship between tourism and nearshore fisheries becomes difficult to sustain. Its sustainable tourism incentive project. Beach cleaning is also listed by the Tourism Bureau as a must-do activity when visiting Xiaoluqiu. The Xiaoluqiu Love Turtles Reduce Plastic activity has been held for 5 consecutive years. Participants can receive exclusive beach currency for Xiaoluqiu, which can be used to enjoy discounts at island shops. And this is beach currency. Sustainable tourism trends in Little Ryukyu 1, geographic location and administrative division versus tourism and sightseeing activities. Relationship, geographic location and administrative divisions provide specific locations and backgrounds for tourism and sightseeing activities. The development and management of tourism and sightseeing activities rely on local administrative divisions and policy support. Regions such as Ryukyu, Little Ryukyu, and Pingtung County attract tourists and require local government, such as the Pingtung County government, for management and planning. Tourism and sightseeing activities versus ecological environment and conservation relationships. Tourism and sightseeing activities have a direct impact on the ecological environment, and tourist activities can put pressure on local ecosystems such as coral reefs and marine life. Therefore, protecting the ecological environment is a necessary measure to ensure the sustainable development of tourism. Excessive tourism can lead to environmental degradation, while appropriate ecological conservation measures can promote sustainable tourism. 3. Relationship between ecological environment and conservation and sustainable development and management. The relationship between ecological environment conservation and sustainable development is crucial. Sustainable development and management strategies must consider environmental protection to ensure the sustainable utilization of resources. Protecting marine life, such as corals and sea turtles, is a core aspect of sustainable development. 4. Sustainable development and management versus marine ecology conservation. The relationship between sustainable development and management is closely linked to marine ecology conservation. One of the goals of sustainable development is to protect marine ecosystems, including marine life and the marine environment. Management measures such as resource management and pollution reduction directly contribute to the conservation of marine ecology. Marine ecology conservation is a critical component of sustainable development. 5. Government and policies versus all other categories. The relationship between government and policies is crucial across all categories. Governments are responsible for formulating and implementing policies that cover aspects such as tourism management, ecological conservation, sustainable development, and environmental management. Institutions like county governments and the Pingtung County government play a key role in promoting local tourism development, environmental protection, and resource management. 6. Waste management and environmental impact versus tourism and recreational activities. Ecological environment, and conservation. The management of waste and its environmental impact in relation to tourism and recreational activities and ecological conservation is significant. The waste generated from tourism activities requires effective management to minimize environmental impact. Measures such as waste protection of the ecological environment, ensuring the sustainability and attractiveness of tourist destinations. Waste management is an integral part of environmental protection and directly impacts the sustainability of both ecological conservation and the tourism industry. The relationships among these categories are multifaceted and intertwined. Geographic location and administrative divisions provide the foundation for tourism and recreational activities, which in turn impact the ecological environment. Protecting the ecological environment and promoting sustainable development require government policy support and effective management measures, with waste management being a crucial aspect. These categories interact with each other, collectively forming the local social, ecological, and economic systems. From many sources, it is evident that the Pingtung County government and related agencies have implemented numerous measures and regulations to address the various environmental issues arising from the extensive tourism in Xiaoluqiu. However, recent news reports have mostly highlighted negative aspects. I believe they are not neglecting the issues, but, as mentioned in one of the earlier articles, sustainable development is just empty talk if this continues. Once ecological resources are depleted, there is no turning back. In January 2024, the Maritime and Port Bureau also implemented 3 policies to further promote sustainable development, aiming to balance marine ecological conservation with recreational industry prosperity. I hope that with the efforts of the government and local communities, not only Xiaoluqiu, but every tourist destination in Taiwan can move towards a better trend of development.
This concludes our presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you for this group presentation. Okay, and now is the time to take any question from the audience. So please, other groups have some questions for this presentation. Jining, do you have any question?
那你的研究方法是什么？
Okay, here's a question. Can you, for this group, so what's your research method for your presentation?
对。
Yeah, so the question is, what's your research question, research method?
So can I speak Chinese?
Oh, okay.
就那个文献整理，就是主要就是以文献整理，因为这个题材我们也没有办法去做一些什么问卷调查，然后也没有办法去做一些深度访谈，所以我们主要都是用就是去以往的文献里面就是整理出来这样子。
Okay, so this is kind of like a literature, only conceptual work, only about literature research, review research.
你们文献有从哪些地方找？
从就是相关报道，或者是政府单位他们自己的官网，然后跟我记得没错的话，我好像也有用到就是期刊论文的部分这样子。
Yeah, that's a good question. Where or how do you get where or how do you look for your literature? Yeah, this is a very good question. So maybe you can have 1 or 2 or even 3 slides to explain your data. So what is your data? I think all the literature is your data, and where do you get the data? Where do you get the literature? And for example, what's the keyword? What are the keywords? And then where do you use do you use a Google search, or do you use any other platform like a database to extract to get your literature? All this kind of information is important. And you may have some analysis about your literature. For example, how many papers, academic journal papers, or how many reports, news reports, or you just mentioned what's about how many government announcement or government policies or government, or maybe you also refer to some laws. So you may have a general report about the profile of your literature as your data, as your as the part of your methods. Okay, so I hope you can. I mean, in fact, I have a question, very important related to this. How do you justify your report? How do you justify your report? I mean, you provide a lot of information, but how do you justify about all the information you in your presentation? So that's a reason you need to provide the research methods, the part. So you need to tell the audience, the readers, the profile of your data, and also more details about your different types of data. Okay, and then at the beginning, you may try to provide your major purpose of your presentation. Try to think what's the purpose, or maybe you want to answer some research question, and try to think the research purposes at the beginning in your presentation before you start. So I hope, because in next week in the conference, that's more like a research presentation. So I hope you can make some revision to make your presentation more like a research. Okay, so the first thing at the beginning in your presentation, the first maybe 1 or 2 after your introduction or background information, and then you may need to provide a research question or research purposes, and then you can in fact you can also provide some theories. I mean theories, concepts, not information. So, for example, you may have some sustainable tourism, the definition, academic definition, or maybe just some definition of keywords, and then move on to the methods. So you will have one part of methods. Try to tell the audience, the readers about your data, and mention that you just use literature research, literature review, conceptual work, and maybe you also have some I mean talk between the report, the news report, and the theory. Okay, and then you just move on to your final the results. So today's your presentation is more like a results, just your results of analysis, but the methods is missing, and also the purpose is missing. Okay, let me translate in Chinese a little bit. 所以你们今天的报告就是比较像是只有一个比较像是结果的报告，所以可能要增加一下那个一开始的时候回想一下，就是那如果是你们今天这样报告呈现，那反推那这样是在回答怎样的研究问题，或者说是一个怎样的研究目的。我在一开始的时候先提供，然后再来就是你们要有那个研究方法，研究方法就是这边的文献回顾研究这样。那但是你可能要说明一下你这些文献是怎么找来的？你是用什么样的关键字在哪边找的？然后对这些文献做一个稍微的分析。期刊论文的几个，然后新闻报道有几篇，然后政府的公告啊，或者是它是根据有什么是不是法令啊什么的，去把它区分一下各几篇做一个表，这样子。大概是那当然我之前有提到就是最好用 ChatGPT 去那个把那些主题再萃取出来，但是this is up to you. So please have some research purpose, research question, and then try to tell us what you have done about the research methods. And then when you try to present, because you are now in a graduate level, not undergraduate level, so you must have some citation page by page. Particularly, maybe you need to cite sentence by sentence. So this is very important. Yeah, that's good that you provide the references in the end of your PPTs, but that's not enough. That's not enough because you are in the graduate level, so you need to cite. That's the reason I ask. How do you justify your presentation, your information in your PPT? That's one of the ways, one of the methods. Using a citation, that means that so then if the readers or audience, if they are interested, they can check whether your citation, your references is reliable or not. However, if you just put references in the end, that's not enough because the information in every page we don't know where do they come from, and then how can you support all these statements or information. So you need to cite. If the whole page, the information in one whole page is just from one reference, you can cite one page by page. However, if the information or results or your findings, every sentence is from different references, then you need to cite sentence by sentence, and then it would be better that you have after your presentation, after you report from the citation, then you need to have your own opinions. I mean, you need to make some information are from resources or references. However, you need to digest these materials and then have your own opinion. And then so you need to have a different parts. One part is from the citation or references. The other part is your own opinion. So what's your opinion or feedback or reflection about all this? You need to also have that part. That we call that a discussion. So not just results, but also you need to have some discussion, have your own opinion, or you may just combine or compare different resources in other words, to check the data or your literature more deeply or more critically. Okay. So let me translate in Chinese a little bit. 所以你们即便是在呈现那个结果的时候，呈现结果的时候的那边，你们还是就是要那个引用的时候要每一页要引用，或是每一句要引用，然后你可能要分层次，就是有些是
有些是引用的，还有些是你们自己去再进一步的深入的讨论，有一些比较啊，或者是一些那个你们的一些想法啊，评论啊，就是批判性的去看你们的那个你们的那个data，你们的文献，所以 so I think this is important when you adopt literature research, critical evaluation is important deeply. Sometimes you may refer to some theories. Okay, and then in the end, you can have your final conclusions and suggestions. Okay. This is my comments and suggestions for your reference. Suggestion can be for the practitioners, can be for the consumers, or can be for the policymakers. 所以那最后有一些结论哦 ，Let me translate in Chinese。最后有一些结论就是可能就是后续研究哦 ，future research 或政府部门啊，政策的决定者、业者啊、消费者。And have your conclusion. Sometimes the conclusion respond to the or consistent with the research purposes. So when you write your conclusion, you need to make it consistent between your final remarks or final important findings or results, consistent with your research purposes. It's like answer or response to your research questions. 所以你最后那个结论的时候，其实是要跟那个研究目的或是研究的问题呢是有呼应的，是有一致的，是去回应的。Okay, and then hopefully, I think your PPT, particularly the Chinese PPT, I think you have some highlights, some important points. You highlight some important points. Yeah, that's good for the convenience for readers, more convenient to read. But for the English part, you may also try to highlight some major points. 所以那个 PPT 排版中文蛮好的，就是有一些那个排版标注那个重点。那英文的部分呢，我希望也可以是这样来排版，可能会好一点。Okay, so please make some revision to your PPT and the presentation for the next conference in building of administration A116. Okay, do you have any question for this group? 下礼拜在那个next week will be in 行政大楼哈佛讲堂Harvard Classroom 1A116 ABC A116. Okay.